Hey there, welcome. This is Lauren Bernard. I am coming to you for a little yoga practice. So, welcome. Find your seat, get cozy, and we are diffusing some amazing oil in my home today for this practice. So, I invite you to grab your favorite essential oil. Or if you haven't tried, you're definitely going to want to order this and maybe come back to this class again for a second time to experience it differently if you do not have Arise. Today I'm diffusing Arise and it is incredible. This is the Enlightening Blend and it's just totally enhances yoga's mission to calm the mind and energize the body. So it has a unique way with its chemistry for invigoration, relaxation, to really promote profound feelings of freedom, of inspiration, of enlightenment, as it's the Enlightenment Blend. So this is an amazing blend to diffuse or use topically, maybe diluted with some coconut oil on your feet or neck for not only just your yoga or meditation practice, certainly any workout this would be wonderful for, any time of stress. And also I've found it's wonderful for your morning routine. So get that going and grab a comfortable seat. If you have a blanket to sit on, awesome. Sit up those sits bones. Come to a nice cross-legged, easy seat. Good. And just begin to drop into awareness of your breath. Let's bring our fingertips out in front of the legs. Press the palms into the mat. Then bring yourself down onto your elbows if that's accessible. Press the hips back. Good. Just allow the head to hang heavy here. Notice the quality of your breath. Inhale. Expansively spread the collarbones, the ribs, and fill the belly. Soften the belly. And as you begin to exhale, find a little diaphragmatic contraction in the belly and empty the lungs. Good. Twice more to the count of 6. Inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale to the count of 6. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's inhale, rise on up. Good. Your hands behind your hips and just cross the opposite leg in front or on top. Hands to your knees. Inhale, lift through your heart, your gaze. And exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and really press your hands into your knees, round out through the spine. Inhale lifts you up. Exhale, round through the spine. Once more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Good. Inhale, tall spine. Stretch your left hand back behind you. Press up onto your fingertips. Inhale, feel really tall all the way from the pelvic floor, lifting through the crown of the head. And then pressing into your left fingertips, rotate from the low belly to the side. Just gaze to the side. Maybe the eyes can look behind you. Try not to lead with your chin. One more breath in, tall. And exhale, find the rotation from the belly. Good. As you inhale, unwind, switching sides. Right hand reaches back. Tall spine. Exhale, press into the fingertips, rotate from the low belly. Inhale, release, return to the front of the mat. Good. We're going to slide the blanket off to the side if you've been propped up and just come onto your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers really wide, reach them forward to the very top edge of your mat. You can slide your knees back a little if you want to. And then we're going to melt the heart towards the mat, keeping the hips high up off the heels, coming into a puppy pose. Now you can bring the forehead to the mat. You can bring the chin to the mat. You can press up onto your fingertips. Stay with the count of 6, twice more, inhaling. Good. Press into the hands, curl the toes under, and press your hips high. Straighten out the legs. Downward facing dog. And if you would like, you can bend the right knee, pressing the left heel into the mat. And as you breathe, switching sides, just walk the dog here, pedal it out. Good. Lower the knees, coming back into all fours in a tabletop shape. Good. Just allow the hips to sway from side to side. Yeah. And then step your right foot towards your hand, left foot towards your hands. Come to the top of your mat. Allow yourself to find a nice forward fold here. So in the forward fold, you can take your feet wider or hip distance. First, bring your hands to your shins. Find some length in the spine. Feel the belly drawing into the spine. Really hollow out through the low belly. And then maybe bend the knees. Bring the belly to the thighs. And allow the upper body to really relax. Hang heavy like a rag doll. Grab elbows. Two more breaths. Reaching those sits bones high, releasing the low back. Maybe a gentle sway from the hips. Beautiful. Release your hands down to the mat. Plant your right hand right in front of your nose. Bend your right knee. Stretch the left arm high. Twist, stack the shoulders. And exhale. Left hand down, right arm high. So you can generously bend that knee. Bend it a little bit. Feel the hips even up. Shoulders rotate. Good. Exhale, hands down. And from here, just bring your feet, heel toe them a little closer together, 2 fist distance. So that's your hip distance, right? Sometimes we think our hips are a lot wider than they are. Hands to your shins. Inhale, lift flat back, half lift. Exhale, refold. Slide your hands to your ankles, bend your elbows behind you. Breathe that belly to thigh connection. Ease into the low spine. Good. Bend the knees. Inhale, let's rise. The arms sweep all the way up to standing. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring your toes together, heels just slightly apart. Feel the toes spreading into the mat, outer edges of the feet spreading, and how that energizes your ankles, your thighs, that lift from the hips. Feel the lower ribs floating and hug them in, and the shoulders coming away from the ears. Good. Hands at heart center here. Close your eyes, 3 deep breaths. Creating a little more texture now through the back of your nose. Back of the throat. Good. We're going to just flow through a half sun salutation, three times through. So inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Stretch your fingertips high. Feel the shoulder blades plugging down your back like you have wings of a bird. Good. And then exhale, reach your wings out like you're catching flight. Feel the belly drawing in and fold forward. Press the fingertips into the mat. Reach your sternum forward. Half lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, sweep those wings up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. One more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. So allow your breath to lead these movements. Inhale. Exhale. Good. In this forward fold, let's take our hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Stretch the fist towards the head. And allow the fist to reach towards the head in this forward fold. You can have the knees bent. Also option to grab opposite elbows here. This doesn't have to be a huge reach towards the head. Everyone's bone structure is different. It might just be a pressing up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Now from this forward fold, you're probably at the top of your mat. Take a big step back with your left foot. Lower your left knee. Good. Feel the fingertips pressing and the sternum reaching forward. The release, stretch, opening in the left hip flexor. Beautiful. Curl your left toes under, put the weight into your right foot. Lean forward like you're stepping through water, coming back to that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Take a big step back with your right foot. Lower your right knee. Press into your fingertips. Feel the heart reaching forward. And soften into that hip flexor. Good. Already feeling the mind calming and the body energizing. Weight into the left as you step through water. Come back into your forward fold. Inhale, rise those arms all the way up. Bring your hands through heart center, hands to your hips. Good. Feel the hip points lifting. All those muscles energizing. And then bend the knees as you reach your hands down. And then sweep the heart up. On the inhale, exhale, feel your ribs hugging in. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, ribs hug in. Bend into your knees deeper. So 3 deep breaths here. Creating a little more heat. Inhale, rise, and exhale, fold forward. Good. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step your right and left foot back. Find the top of a plank. Good. So here, feel your heels pressing back, wrists and shoulders in alignment. Feel the puffing up between your shoulder blades. Press the heels back and reach the sternum, maybe the gaze forward. Good. Bend the knees down to the mat. Bend the elbows, graze the ribs, lower all the way down onto your belly. And inhale, lift here. Slide the elbows right underneath the shoulders. Tuck your chin. And just allow the shoulders, the neck to release. Two more breaths. Heart reaching forward. Belly draws in, so we're not compressing the spine. And yet there's a sensation of relaxing. Inhale, lift. Take a gaze over your right shoulder towards your right heel. Inhale back to the center, left side. Inhale, center. Good. Exhale, bow once more. Good. Inhale, lift. Plant your hands under your shoulders. Slowly lower all the way down. Curl your toes under. Press back, downward dog. Good. So the intention in down dog is to really press your hands into the mat. So you're lifting through the arm bones, feeling them kind of energetically coming together. Your shoulders slide down your back into your sits bones. Your sits bones reach high. So creating an upside down V, equal weight into your hands and your feet. You might need to bend your knees. And then feel as though my hands are pressing into your calves, and stretch your calves into my hands. Beautiful. Inhale, lift your right leg behind you. Take a big step between your hands. This time, keeping the left knee lifted. Feel the left heel press back as the heart reaches forward. A little deeper stretch here. Good. Inhale, feel the squeezing of the ankles, the inner thighs, the belly lifting. Inhale, reach the heart forward, arms stretch overhead. Good. Plant your hands, lower your back knee, reach your hips back towards your heels as you flex your right foot. So feeling the traction of the right hip pulling back and under the right heel. You can walk your hands back a little bit if you like. Feel the heart reaching, and yet the belly and the thigh coming closer together. Good. Walk your hands forward, shift your weight back into that lunge. Lift up that back knee. Once again, energize from the feet. Belly draws in. Reach those arms forward and see if you can lift all the way up. Good. Exhale, lower your heel. Reach your arms front to back, coming into warrior two. So the back heel is lowered, this left foot at a 45-degree angle, right? Energize that outer edge. Widen your stance. Hips are open, shoulders are open. Good. Flip your front palm up. Reach forward, up and back. Reach your left hand down towards your left calf. Feel the expansion in the right side body. And then exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat. Step your right back to your left, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, left leg reaches. Bend the knee, take a big step forward. Right heel presses back. Heart draws forward. Good. Now energizing from the feet, the ankles, the inner thighs, the belly lifts, arms float. Left thighs very activated here. Exhale, hands down, lower your back knee, shift your hips back towards your heels, flex your left toes. Hands can walk back, feel the left hip pull back and that traction underneath the left heel. Good. Heart reaches, hinge at the hips, and then walk your hands forward, shift your weight, lift your back knee. Good. One more time, energize, reach forward and lift all the way up. Rise on up, crescent warrior. Lower your right heel, reach front to back, warrior two. Energize the right edge of your foot, lift from the hips. Left knee, right over left ankle, please. Flip your palm, reach forward, up and back. Expand through the left side ribs. Beautiful. Exhale, windmill your hands down, step it back. Downward facing dog. Good. Bend your knees, bring your hips to your heels. Child's pose. So we've created some warmth in the body.
Very basic warm up, moving through some sun salutations. Feel your heart rate. Notice your mind space. A little quieter. And as we begin to slow down, the mind might become a little busier. And as it does, just notice as though your thoughts are clouds floating by. Bring your awareness back with your breath and let them drift on past you. And let's inhale, rise on up to tabletop or downward facing dog. We're going to move into pigeon pose. So by doing pigeon pose, we're going to bend the right knee, stretch the knee towards the wrist. The right foot comes in at an angle. And you can do this a couple of different ways. Just keep your feet active to set it up. Square up your hips. You may want this blanket or pillow under your right hip for some support. And if this is just too achy on the knee, you can try laying down on your back. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then draw the knees into the chest. It'll give you the same sensation of opening the outer right hip. Good, so just gonna hold here. If you're in pigeon, lower yourself down onto your forearms. Maybe you're even not able to lower yourself all the way down, resting the forehead down, maybe stacking wrists or forehead all the way down to the mat. If it feels better to hang out up here or even to be tall, it's perfect. Wherever you can find yourself, just meet yourself where you're at. Three more breaths. Every inhale, lengthening the spine. Every exhale, softening into the sensations you find. Inhale, let's rise on up. Now shift onto your right hip and just swing your left leg around in front of you, but off to an angle here instead of straight out in front of you. Good. And again, if your hamstrings, your hips, low back need a little more support or just aren't quite warm enough, you can prop up your hips with a blanket, sit up tall. So feeling that lift and the pelvic floor lifting, like you have your jeans zipped up really tight. Activate little energy into your feet, your toes, so your knees and legs can be protected and grounded. Reach the heart forward, hinge at the hips. Just bring your hands out in front of you. Now from here, we're just going to exhale and allow the upper body to round and hang. Kind of a yin stretch here. Let's inhale, rise on up. And we're just going to switch into that left side of pigeon or figure four on your back. Left leg comes at an angle. So we're going to stretch into the left hip. Good. And bring yourself down onto your elbows. Feel the heart reaching. Right shoelaces pressing into the mat. And eventually coming down, upper body relaxing. Exhale lightness into the sensations of tightness. Inhale, rise on up. Shift onto your left hip. Swing your right leg over to the side. Sole the left foot right on the inside of the thigh. Put a nice angle out here. Sitting up nice and tall. And then hinge at your hips. And allow your upper body to round. Release forward. Good, and let's inhale, rise on up. From there, out of that stretch. Good. So from here, just bring your feet together. We're going to work our way onto the long edge of our mat. So swing your legs behind you, come onto your knees, and just take your knees a little wider here, kind of like you're gonna go into child's pose. They can be as wide or as close together as you like, and just sit back on your heels. And this is kind of a modified version of threading the needle. So we're going to take the left arm, reach it out to the side, and then thread it underneath the right. Come onto your left shoulder and reach the right arm up overhead. So you're finding a big twist through the shoulders, the heart, opening up the lungs and the meridian channels here. Even take this right arm up behind you, wrap behind your back, and maybe press the hand into the left thigh, inner thigh, hip crease. 3 more breaths. Inhale, reach, unwind if you've had your arm wrapped, and then slowly, slowly unravel this left arm. Sit up nice and tall, and then coming back forward, right arm reaches out and thread it underneath the left arm. Lower your right shoulder down. Maybe reach the left arm overhead, or taking this left arm up, bend the elbow behind the back, reach for the right thigh. And just breathe into this twisting sensation. Feel the ability to draw air in, expanding. Also doing some great work for the kidneys here. And inhale, slowly unwind. Plant your hands right in front of the shoulders and just curl the toes under. Stretch the legs out wide. Find like a nice wide-legged forward fold. Just counter, find neutrality here. Good. Inhale, lift halfway. And then walking yourself back to the front of your mat, just bring your feet together, bend your knees, lower yourself onto your seat. And we're going to come all the way onto the back. Okay. And we're going to find a happy baby pose here. So bringing the knees into the chest. You can take your hands to your knees and just allow them to fall out to the sides wide. Stay here. Bring your hands to your ankles. Maybe stretch your hands down to the outer edges, pinky side edges of your feet. And then press the feet up towards the ceiling. Or maybe grabbing onto the ankles, press the feet towards the ceiling. Either way, it's good. Feel the pelvis flatten to the floor. So your tailbone kind of reaching down. Good. So happy baby has a few other names in yin practice. It's one of my instructors like to refer to this as having a baby. Always brings a little smile to my face. 3 breaths. Good. And then exhale, slowly bring the feet back. Just hug the knees in here. Lower the feet down to the mat. Take your right leg and cross your legs at the knees, right over left, and either keep the feet separated here, or you can try to find a full bind with the feet, wrapping the right ankle under the left. And feet come down to the floor and allow the knees to fall off to the left. As you're lowering, scoot your left hip to the right. So you're bumping it under a little bit. Good. Good. So maybe a bind, maybe a scoot. Lower your right shoulder towards the mat. So finding a really nice deep twist. Let's see what it looks like on the side. Also, deep twist. And inhale, slowly unwind. Opposite left knee, cross it over. Knees fall to the right. Scoot your right hip to the left a little. Feel the left shoulder contacting the earth. You can bend your arms or keep them outstretched. And then just maybe even gazing away from the knees. Right hand can come to the top of your left thigh or knee. Every inhale, feel the long length of the spine growing taller. And as you exhale, wringing it out, finding a little more space. Good. Inhale, bring the knees back. Just hug the knees into the chest. Maybe draw a couple circles each way. Good. And then let's hug everything in really, really tight. Intensify your toes, your face, scrunch it up.
And then exhale, just release the body. If you have a blanket and you'd like to roll it up and place it under your knees, I encourage you to try that. And just allow the toes to fall out, heels to fall in. Good. Yeah, you can see what that looks like. Allow the hips to get cozy, the right shoulder, the left shoulder, palms turn up. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Shavasana. And very gently, you can begin to deepen your breathing. If you'd like to stay here, you can pause the video and give yourself some more time if you have it in your day. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, rock your head side to side, bend your knees, roll off to the side, a little fetal position. And when you're ready, you can pause there for a moment, and no hurry, eventually coming up to a seat. And just noticing the seated posture when you arise, that after moving the body, energizing the body, moving some stuck energies, how much easier it is to sit feeling tall, fluid. Close your eyes, bring your hands to your knees. From that space of peace and kindness within me, honors that space of peace and kindness within each and every one of you. May this state be with you and ripple out into the world with those around you. Namaste. Thank you for allowing me to lead you through a little practice, and we'll see you soon. Peace.